Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're officially here.
The
I
gasp.
had that open so you couldn't see the full. There we go.
There we go.
Better. We did it.
We did it.
There we go.
did
I
it.
was like, there was a BRB screen, and then,
Yay.
okay, now it takes. Okay. We're good.
Days it needs goings away. I will get it ways.
Welcome on in.
We're
everyone.
here.
As we play Warrenguard. Dun 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 dun. My name is Joe. I'm the game master here. Playing this wonderful game on this lovely channel with my friends, Aegis and Preds and everybody's. But let's go around and introduce people. You can talk a little about yourself, where people can find you, and who you're playing.
It appears that Joe cannot be heard.
I cannot be heard, so I'm just going to keep on talking until I can be heard. Because, damn it, my voice is sultry and amazing, and everyone should be able to hear me.
I agree.
I don't. I hate my voice so much.
Oh, stop it.
Everybody hates their voice.
That's true. I'm not a big fan of mine. Sometimes I think it sounds cool.
When I edit podcasts that I'm in, I have to dissociate myself from the sound of my voice.
Yep. I do everything in my power to make sure I have to edit things as little as possible.
Apparently,
I think it
only
only-
Aegis is heard.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm the weirdo. My voice is one of the only things that I actually like about myself. So I don't mind hearing myself. I think I'm just weird though.
Oh, we can hear Ava and
Okay,
Joe.
I think
Yeah.
everybody's coming through
All
now.
right, there we
I
go.
believe
Hi,
so, yeah.
everybody.
Now we
Once
should be
again,
good.
I am Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. I am the Dungeon Master here, Game Master, all variations of the same thing. Storyteller, Keeper. How many other variations do I know of this? Marshall from Deadland. Anyway, I'm the one in charge of the
Herder of
shenanigans.
cats.
A herder of cats. There we go. Absolutely.
The shenanigan. Yeah.
Um,
Perfect. He's the head shenaniganizer.
Shenaniganist. I'm the lead gremlin of the gremlin tribe here. We're playing Warrenguard today, a wonderful game written by Natalie Putum about dragon riding and found family, which is basically the best things. What else do you need from an RPG than dragon riding and found family? But we're gonna go
Literally
around.
nothing.
We're gonna around the table and we are going to introduce ourselves. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, and who you're playing. And I always love doing this first, especially because we're now, on her channel. So, Aegis, go ahead first. Where can people find you?
Me? Why would you start with me? Hi, I'm Aegis. I'm sure anybody watching currently, like in this moment, knows me as Aegis on Aegis and Pred on Twitch or on YouTube. And I play Esther, who is the old timer of the group. She has had enough, but damn it if that's not going to stop her.
And going around the circle, let's go with Lou.
Oh no. Hi, I am Tallulah and Chill on Twitch. I play Salem, and my dragon is Basil. And I am the caretaker of all of these dragon riders.
And going around, let's go to Isabeth.
I feel so sorry for Salem having to be the caretaker of all of us.
No.
I'm Elizabeth or Isbits. I am here playing Warrenguard on Tuesdays. Every Wednesday, you can find me either on Shadows of Nox YouTube on the Power Rangers podcast or the alternating Wednesday on their Twitch for Power Rangers Centurion. And then every Sunday over on Shadows of Nox, I run Call of Cthulhu. I am playing Lilith, the Outsider, and I have the very, very, very large and quite fast dragon Mini Smalls.
And last,
Ironically named.
but certainly not least, Ava.
I'm Ava Rogers. You can find me sometimes on Twitter when I feel like arguing at that nerdy writer. I don't do much writing at the moment, so it's mostly just to get into Twitter fights.
Which is fair.
On Monday nights you can find me over on Shadows of Nox. I'm currently running a sci-fi game using the basic role-playing system by Chaosium Inc. the same system that Call of Cthulhu is based on, that you might be familiar with. Eventually, we're going to go back to a Dresden game. I'm not GMing that one, but I'm running in that one. And Saturdays, you can hear my voice now when... Actually, I don't know if he's back onto a regular release schedule. On the Arcology Actual Play podcast. My debut episode dropped a few weeks ago. Maybe a month ago at this point. The first episode that I recorded with them 3 years ago. So there's a hell of a backlog. And I'm playing Kian Allerrider. The fresh-faced, do-gooder, by-the-book type kid.
Who certainly
Not
didn't
for
spend
long.
the last time we played
We're going
mostly in tears.
Oh,
Yeah.
good lord, yeah.
will
How's
break.
how's Kian? How's Kian been doing?
That's my question to ask as we come on into the scene of finding ourselves in the Warren, floating above the city of the hold of Pridehold. Let's check in on Kian first. So, it is known that you guys will soon having to attend a fancy dress ball. Basically, the Council of Pridehold has invited the Dragon Riders to an event. So, what is Kian doing now, and what is Kian doing to prepare for this?
I don't know. What's expected of them?
So I will say, at least for Kian, probably, you're going to be in some form of, because, you know, you're the one also who insisted on the matching uniforms. There's probably a
Yeah.
dress version of the uniform that
Well,
you're prepping. I will say that we'll go into a little bit of backstory for the council and things I've decided, because I'm, you know, a kind and beneficent god. That you guys decided it was a council run by women. The council is basically the major families of Pridehold, but there are 3 people in charge, and there's only ever one elected position. So it's the crone, the matron, and the maid. Or the maiden are the 3 positions. And then when the crone dies, the matron becomes the crone, the maiden becomes the matron, and a new maiden is elected. It's always a woman. They don't necessarily have to be assigned female at birth, but basically they take on female pronouns when they get elected into the role and when they serve in you know, official functions. Kind of similar to like how Queen Hatshepsut from the Egypt, when she was doing pharaoh businesses, wore the pharaoh, you know, the pharaoh beard and things like that. So a new maiden has been elected. And this is basically like her coming out ball. Her, you know, there's the southern term that I do not remember for the life of me. But yeah,
Debutante?
yeah, her debutante ball. Basically, this is her being introduced to the city of Pridehold as the new maiden of Pridehold. So yeah, that is basically what you guys are doing. This isn't going to be entirely focused around the Dragon Rider themselves, but you guys are a major force in this, so you guys will be expected to show up and both pledge yourselves to Pridehold as well as, you know, show off of, hey, we're humans too.
Gotcha.
So going back to Kian,
We're humans?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wow.
Going back to Kian, what do we find Kian doing?
I feel like they've been spending a lot of time. Well, it actually probably hasn't been that different from the outside looking in. Mostly, I mean, they're nose to the grindstone. They're keeping everything running. You know. But they spend a lot more time in their room. Because they're terrified they might have to dance. And they don't know how to dance. And also, if we're supposed to, like, pledge ourselves to Pridehold, does that mean I have to make, like, do I have to say something? I don't do public speaking.
You know what? I would answer that question, but that's not a question we'd ask. Are you asking anyone that question?
I think the only person that they might ask is Uncle Corbin.
Okay. So I say you track down Corvin, who is not a dragon rider and therefore is not invited to the ball. And he basically is, doing the standard things, to like kind of like secure up. He's settling in for a day of me time essentially. Um, uh, and you ask that, and he laughs a bit, puts his hand on your shoulder, sits you down, and goes, "No, lad, it's simple enough. You show up, you toast, you dance a little, you go around the ball, you make yourselves known, you show that you're human beings and not a terrifying weapon of war." No speeches. Esther might have to give a speech. Someone should probably remind Esther she might have to give a speech.
It's probably gonna be me.
Meanwhile, I'm over, doing my other shit, vehemently saying to myself, I ain't speaking, friend.
So yeah, no,
Okay.
let's follow that camera. Camera leaves Kian on that decision, to find out what other ways Kian will be freaking out when we come back to him, because that is Kian's natural state at this point. And then we'll follow the camera over to Esther. How is Esther preparing for this ball?
Well, the missing middle finger makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I'm looking for my set of dress gloves that have a false middle finger kind of stuck in there to make it look like
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully digitized.
Oh, I'm accidentally flipping you off.
Yeah, whoops, my bad. So I'm sorry, this finger here, this is the one that's missing and needs to be this one.
And
here.
as a reminder, for those of you playing along at home who have not seen our previous episodes, besides the fact that go check out my YouTube, the episodes are there and they're all kind of fantastic, but B, we are in the rider portion of the game, which follows the rules of belonging outside belonging, which means all the players have both strong, regular, and weak moves. Weak moves gain them a token, strong moves cost them a token, regular moves kind of just even themselves out. For this particular chapter, everyone gains the weak move, commit a faux pas.
I've already committed 7.
So, thank you for that shout out, Aegis, and all of those shout outs, Aegis.
Listen, that would be the spammy pred.
Well, thank you, Pred, for deciding to shout me out 4 times in a row.
Pred the spam. Pred the spam.
All right.
Thanks.
So,
Fred.
is Esther finding her gloves?
Yeah, but I guess I want to do like my whatchamacallit. There's a weird thing sticking out of one of the. I gotta mess with with the middle finger. I have to kind of fix it a little bit. So I was going to do whittle.
Okay,
I was going to whittle a better middle finger for this glove.
So basically, the wooden, it's wooden. It has joints in it, so you can kind of, when you're thinking about it, reposition the finger. Those joints are fully locked into fuck you full flag middle finger mode, and so you are whittling on the finger to kind of fix it up a little bit so that you can actually not be wandering around the ball flipping everyone off. All right. So who wants to grab the camera next as the camera's floating around? Don't
I'll
everyone?
probably go. Yeah.
All right.
Should go.
So where do we find Salem? What's Salem doing? How is Salem preparing? How is Salem making sure everyone else is prepared?
After kind of making the rounds, checking, kind of popping my head in, being like, need anything? Tea, cookies, especially to Esther in a very hushed voice, bacon. Goes back to their room, and is looking for similar to Esther, their outfit that they wore for, probably previous uh the previous fancy event that they've been to, and it kind of looks like it's this almost the same color as Basil on purpose, and it's like a suit with gold embellishments, barely used, so it's kind of like it's tucked away, and yeah, kind of enclosed in some form of like in a bag of sorts to keep it that pristine. um, and of course, probably has Basil in their head being like, which fork to use out of all the cutlery. You can just hear it. Um, Having this little speckled cat in tow as I
Oh,
move
yeah.
around.
The Freckles is immediately getting cat hair all over the
Oh, yeah.
suit.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, 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 Basil! And I just go, throws the cat out the window, and Basil's just like gently catches in claws. Like, no, 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 Basil!
Are you offering me a morsel?
No, do not eat it. They're ruining the suit.
How dare! And then you hear that, like, you hear that verbally, and then all of you kind of hear a grumbling, like that alligator, like, deep, like, tick, tick, tick,
Oh,
tick,
yeah.
tick, 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 kind of like rumble throughout the entire warren as Basil gets mad at the cat. And then let's go and find Lilith. Now I'll ask this because we know Esther has definitely been through plenty of these. Salem has at least admitted that they have at least been through one of these election ceremonies. Has Lilith seen an election ceremony or been to one of these types of balls before? Kian certainly has not, because Kian is Kian.
Lilith
Just obey.
probably saw the last one.
Okay.
So she's probably kind of been to one. She probably showed up for a little bit and then left.
Good. Good.
Really early. But yes, she's probably been to one.
And then how do we find Lilith preparing?
So are we all wearing like matching suits? Is that what we're supposed to be wearing?
Yeah, that's the important question. I think that's what you guys are supposed to be. I think with at least what has been set up during character and hold creation, matching uniforms is a thing, and there is a dress uniform for the
Yes,
Warren
we
Guard.
have dress blues.
Yeah, dress blues. Thank you. I was trying to think of the term. Thank you.
Okay.
So there is a suit that Lilith is supposed to be wearing.
Okay. She has that ready in her room, but she's probably checking in with Minnie before she goes and gets dressed. Probably like sneaking all of the dragons something good to nibble on, and just kind of hanging out with Minnie for a little bit before she goes to get ready.
And then Minnie is full on, because we've established this. Minnie thinks that she's a lap dragon, and is just immediately just like, it's completely bowled you over. It's like a Saint Bernard. There's drool. There shouldn't be drool, but there's drool.
That's why I'm waiting to get ready until after I do this.
But it's full on, like, Minnie is just kind of like nuzzling into your lap, and by lap, like, that means your torso, as you're just kind of bowled over and kind of pinned to a stable wall. And the other dragons are kind of nearby, because you guys have definitely opened up the you opened up the stables to be an open concept stabling. So like everyone else is
They're a
nearby.
lot happier that way, seriously.
I mean, Basil has full on carved in the ground around a section, like with his claw. This is mine. No one comes within it. And he still expects to be able to use the rest of the stable, but has his own little section of that. Mm-hmm. Because Basil's a turd. We love him, but Basil's a turd.
But Basil's
Yeah,
a turd.
turd. I love my little turd. He's a royal piece of shit.
Yeah. But Minnie's in your head of Lilith. Do we have to? I've got to behave. I don't want to.
I just kind of give, just kind of like head pats, and just for a little while, we have to behave, and then we can come back and we can be comfortable, and we don't have to be so rigid and follow all the rules.
Normally a sigh takes a couple of seconds. Minnie's got the lung capacity though. There's a full on like 30-second just.
I know, I feel the same way, but we can do this just a little while. We can behave mostly for a little while.
Fine.
Look, I'll tell you what. We behave for a little bit, you and me. When we get back, I'll see if I can sneak some of the bacon out of Salem's stash as a reward.
Yeah, no, she like Minnie is now again, she's a fucking Saint Bernard. We decided this. So she is now immediately like trotting over and pulling out like the good saddle out of the storage and is like trying to get herself in. Minnie cannot in any way, shape, or form saddle herself. None of these dragons can.
No.
But she is desperately trying. She's like, she's doing the thing where you said WALK around a dog, and
Doing,
the
like,
dog
the little dance?
is like she's doing the dance and trying to like, if I get myself into my harness and the leash, then that means we go faster.
Wait. I have to go get dressed. We'll just calm down. I'll come back down. We'll go in just a little bit. I promise.
There is like she thumps down into a seat, but there is full on like dust storms behind her as her tail is just
Oh lord.
back and forth.
For those in chat who don't know, Minnie is a bronze dragon who is 50 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dragon
big girl.
scale from the smallest being under 20 feet to the largest being the bronze 50 feet dragons. So
she's a big girl.
she is not in fact
She big.
dainty.
She thick.
She's thick with 6 C's.
Thick.
Yeah, all of them. All the C's.
All of the C's. Once I have her calm down a little bit so that she's not like getting dust everywhere with her tail, I will go upstairs and mostly put the uniform on
Okay.
and get ready.
What does mostly mean?
So I'm kind of picturing, and please tell me everybody else if I'm wrong, but it's like dress pants and like a nice like dress shirt and then the jacket. Is that kind of what everybody was thinking? Or okay. She's wearing like the slacks. She's kind of altered them a little bit so they're not quite as loose, they're a little tighter. She's not wearing the dress shirt at all. She's just wearing the jacket. So it's just like cleavage everywhere.
Okay.
And instead of like the work boots, she's wearing like the high-heeled boots.
Her pirate
So she's
boots?
mostly wearing. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds on
She's
point. Yeah.
dressed right.
Kian's
Oh.
probably gonna have an aneurysm as soon as
Yeah.
comes out. Sees you. Yeah.
But can Kian point that out to someone without having a nosebleed?
I don't know.
Let's find out. We're getting closer to the time of the ball.
We'll see.
So yes, with Lilith's description of what she looks like, we'll have everyone convening in the main hall before heading out to the dragons. So Lilith's given a description of what she has done to her dress blues, essentially. And I'll say that there's bronze piping down the jacket, down the pants to show that she's a bronze rider. Who's next, and are you wearing regulation, or what changes have you made if not?
Well, I'm done. I finished my my middle finger. My middle finger is all set. It's good. It's a perfect. I can move it now, and people won't really tell the difference. But Esther is in pretty much, she's got the gloves, obviously, which is not. There are regulation gloves that you can have, but she's obviously modified them to have the middle finger, and she has not the women's cut of pants, but she's got the more straight-legged men's pants because it fits her wooden leg a little bit better.
Twinsies.
And yeah, that's about it. The shirt is untucked because tucked shirts are uncomfortable as shit, especially when you're trying to fit it around the thing that hooks the leg to her.
Yeah.
And the jacket has seen better days. She hasn't bothered fixing a couple of like the little spots where she's had, scrapes, just because, kind of like badges of honor.
Not on the dress blues.
Oh, Esther has 100% gotten into fights in her dress blues.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. More in my dress blues than out of the dress blues. There's a couple of blood stains, but they're like, they're bleached out.
Oh, no. No. Just spots of bleach on the dress blues.
Not too bad. Like,
Yeah.
It was
but
the
then
colors.
colored
Like
with
it's
Sharpie,
this discoloration. It's just
Yeah.
like a light fade.
Right. I don't want to get a new one.
There's definitely there's the things where you can see like the club soda and like whatever like kind of smearing into the stain, trying to. Okay.
Of course,
Well, faded.
Fester never showed Salem this, or Salem would have like tried to like take it away and fix it.
You just sew my shit shut. No.
And I'm over here like picking as I, in my own similar version, but of course, as I said earlier, it matches the color of Basil with the gold trim.
Okay. And then Kian walks out of
mince-
his room and sees this.
Ian
tried to-
is the poster child for what you are supposed to look like in your dress blues. They are pressed perfectly. They are in perfect condition. They are tailored to within an inch of this child's body.
You're almost expecting him to hold a sign that says, "Click to learn more."
Exactly.
They've been very careful about making sure that there's not a single cat hair on
Yes.
their clothes anywhere. Their hair is very neatly combed.
I was about to ask, did Kian take the time to freshen up their haircut before this to make sure it was within regulation?
Yes, they did.
And I will say,
Actually.
there's no actual regulation for haircuts. There's like one of those like optional things of like, like some general somewhere did a treatise of, in order to look proper, someone should follow these guidelines. And Kian like has that stapled to the back of the manual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, no, exactly.
Okay.
And they walk out, and immediately they just Lilith. The eyes dart that way, beet red, and looks anywhere else.
Lilith just shrugs. What?
Don't shrug too hard, Lilith.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Kian would never recover.
What's the matter, low rider? You never see a pair of tits before? I just kind of put my shoulder on put my elbow on his shoulder.
I just shake my head at that question. I'm like, God, why? You're such a jerk, Esther. You know that?
Is anyone
Need my
making any
uniform?
moves right now?
I had it pulled up. One.
Let me see, am I?
I mean, there's fall in love for a fresh face move.
Is this
kinda,
enough
like,
for a get overwhelmed?
We absolutely can get overwhelmed.
They're unable to form words at the moment. Like, there's Lilith, and then Esther making it worse. They don't know where to look.
Kian.exe is no longer functioning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Want
Go
to
ahead and
try
take the
and
token.
take care of him and be like, it's okay. So it's either
Might be
I
pertinent.
think
Is
it's
there a
gonna be
max number of
exhaust
tokens we
yourself.
can hold?
There is not.
exhaust.
Okay.
You're going to
I'm
exhaust
going
yourself.
to exhaust myself taking care of Kia to be like, it's cool. She's just like this. Just you don't have to stare at her because that's obviously not working for you.
Yeah, so I think with exhaust...
Had my bag of tokens.
I think with exhaust yourself caring for others, Salem, for the next hour or so, is 100% putting themselves between Kian and
Yeah.
Lilith at all times, just physically blocking the sight.
Like
Yeah,
as soon as we
Kian-
get there, Lilith will probably disappear into the crowd. It's fine. Go for the alcohol. Let's go.
All right. Anyone else
I,
making
al-
moves?
I almost
Yep.
want to, because like I'm trying to think of like what, because out of the options that I have for weak moves, like granted, I was hoping to get a bunch of tokens while I'm at the thing with faux pas, but
Oh yeah, that's still gonna happen. I just want to give you guys a chance before I subject
Yeah.
you to the public to you guys to gain tokens.
it's like the only thing I could think of would be like be too harsh to someone meaning well and just be like, you know, constantly telling Sam like, how do you think he's gonna feel when we get there? And there are all those others, you know, with the corsets and the blah 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 blah.
I think
Kind of
take
what
it, and I think it does come off to Kian as like, you know, come on, Kian, you're a kid kind of situation. You're being childish, which is not helping Kian at all at this moment.
Right.
Is bitch did you had a question?
Yeah, do our tokens from last session roll over, or
They
do we
do
start
indeed.
back at
Nope, you
Okay.
get to keep them over.
Yeah, I had none, so I have one. now.
Look, our last session is going to be fantastic because all of your tokens got to get spent, otherwise you're just going to waste them. So that last fight is going to be the shortest, most brutal fight in the history of this game.
I've got 5 tokens currently.
Oh, speaking of, did we ever finish the wording for my new
Well, hi, Skippy.
Yes,
dragon
just
stunt?
lightning strikes twice, once per session. After you take an attack, you can immediately take another attack.
No? Okay.
Alrighty. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before you guys go to the party?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
Okay. Full on album cover moment as you guys push open the doors to the Warren on all of your dress blues and start walking out onto the field, into the fields in front of the stables. The camera lingers over Lilith for a little bit longer. The people who are making the trailer know that this is the draw.
This was a big use in the promotional material.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those things that there's a poster devoted to it. There's a bunch of commercials that have it around.
And there's just in one episode.
Yeah, it's the Lady Dimitrescu of Warrenguard. Is that
Oh my god.
there's
Wow.
there's one episode where we get Lilith's tits out for the most part.
I mean, we had a full frontal Lilith last
Yeah.
episode, so
Yeah, there
True.
was.
Well, it was implied because, you know, there was Esther standing in front of her.
That's true.
This one we
That's
actually get to
true.
see it. And the camera gets to linger without us ruining our rating. So everyone, you know, everyone gets saddled up. Corvin has taken the time to brush the saddles down, oil the leathers, so they are shining and gleaming. Everyone mounts up, dips over the edge, spreads their wings, and starts circling in. So we haven't really described Pridehold before. The players and myself, knew what Pridehold looked like because we had talked about this. But this is the first time we're actually seeing it on camera, so to speak. So in the middle of this vast plain, there is what is essentially like an ice cream scoop taken out of the ground. And in this crater, as you go down, part of the reason why it's called Pride Hold is that there are striations in the stone of different colors going through the rainbow. It starts off with the red ring around the edge of the crater, all the way down to the purple district, which is the elite district of the town, and where you guys are going in right now. So as you guys circle into the council house, council mansion, whatever. It's basically it is where council meetings happen. It is also where the three live. So the crone, the matron, and the maiden all live within this building. It is a very large. It's because they know that they are the dead center of Pride Holds. It is a circular building with a like private garden kind of directly in the center of it, which is where you guys have been directed to essentially bullseye the dragons in. So as you guys land in, there is, polite gasps and polite applause, as it is now twilight-ish. Like you guys live in Pridehold lives in a crater, so the sun goes down super fast. So it's one of those weird things of like everything is in twilight, but when you look up to the sky, it is still the bright blue. And as you guys land, there is food left out for the dragons, which is the only source of meat at this party. And then you are ushered into the actual banquet hall itself. And let's do this. Esther Jean, you're an old timer. What is the name of the crone?
Of the crone. Oh. Lavenia.
Lavenia. Lilith, what's the name of the matron?
Of course you would call on me.
Yep.
Hold
I'm a
on.
monster.
I have a name. Altrum. Altrum.
Altrum. And Kian, what's the name of the maiden?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna call on me. That's why I am pulling open a fantasy name generator.
Also, what are you trying to say having me name the crone?
Esther. Esther, you're older than the crone at this point.
That's true. You're right. Shh.
Kalira.
Kalira. I butchered those spellings, but they're good enough for us to know. This is all on slide 6, so people can see them if they need to reference them.
Gotcha.
Fine, Ava.
I had a specific spelling in mind when I said it.
I do think, speaking of Esther being older than the crone, I do think there was a time where they were
She almost became the crone.
halfway. Yeah, they were halfway serious about electing you into the triumvirate, and Esther just shot that right the fuck down.
Yeah, no thank you. I am the Warren leader by coin flip. Ain't no way.
Well, hey, it's a
It's a highly prestigious position. So yes, the banquet itself has been separated into 3 major sections. And it's all again in varying colors. So all of the maidens section is the most lavish, but is also in like coppers and brass. All of the matron section is in silver, and the crone section, which is the least ornamented for this, is all in gold. And it's kind of like, not a test, so to speak, but like when you guys are announced as the Warrenguard and announced with your full names and titles, they don't tell you where to sit. They basically give you guys free reign. So who is sitting where? You can just tell me generally what section you're sitting in if you don't have anything more specific.
I'd like to think that I'm sitting closest to where there will be food.
This is there's enough. Again, these are the fancy people. There is both the buffet in the center that is all equidistant, and also there are people going around with trays to all the different tables. You will have food regardless of where you go.
I love high society.
Is the booze the same way?
Booze is only available through servants, and you notice that they are deliberately trying to even it out among people. They don't want anyone being too rambunctious and rowdy.
Yeah, Lilith.
Look, I give you these obstacles because I know you want to overcome them.
I mean, I don't know why you're looking at me. I am a good girl.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think you say that, and the camera pans back to your shirt hanging up in your room back in the Warren.
Probably.
Perfect.
My first thought when you asked where we were sitting, and this kind of goes along with my good girl thing, my very first thought was, I wonder whose lap I can sit on.
Good lord.
Yeah.
I
just want to see if I can make Kian's head explode.
Ian has not once looked at you ever since he saw your outfit. They have not looked in your direction at all.
Isabits?
Yes.
Maiden, matron, or crone?
Maiden.
So, channeling weirdly feral big sister energy,
No God.
Lilith comes on in right up to the table of the maiden, because again, this is her debut, gives her a hug, and then plants herself in the maiden's lap.
Sadly, that seems accurate. Like, that definitely seems like something that she would do. At least she's still wearing her clothes. She's not naked this time.
This
So,
time.
This time.
Where is everyone else sitting?
Absolutely not. I grab Lilith by the fucking earlobe.
I was gonna say that's probably about the same time Kian is like, Mama Jean, do something.
Mama Jean.
No.
Oh.
Jean.
You know what? I will give you a token if you
It's
say
the
that.
first time.
If you say that loud enough for people at the party to hear, I will give you a
Oh
token.
my God, yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
take
no,
the token.
Totally. And this is the first time. This is like the accidentally calling your teacher mom.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Oh, right.
That is spreading of like Kian comes in looking like to them the hardened military vet that Kian is. Of like, I fly dragons. I fight monsters for a living. I am the reason you can sleep at night. And then Mama Jean?
Breaks
Mama Jean!
Would this be considered a faux pas?
Absolutely. If you want to take the token, go for it.
If it didn't, I would question this high society.
We just got here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No,
So, okay,
Salem's
at that
probably
point,
disappeared from this whole entire fiasco.
right.
Like, I'm not associated with this shit.
Kian looks like they wish the ground would just open up and swallow them.
Salem is trying more to just like to change their suit to not look like any of our.
Yeah.
Like, nope, no, that's not my
Make
Warren.
sure it looks
I'm
pretty
from
prim
out
and
of
proper.
town. Yeah. All right. Well, I go over. I literally grab Lilith by the earlobe.
You've got one of your moves is bark in order, right? That seems about right for us.
It's a regular move though. I can always do these. Like, I need to do something better to get. Well, no, it's probably yelling at them in the middle of everything. You know, would that be considered a faux pas, or would that be? Do I need to be more faux pas than that for it to count? Because I'm going to grab Lilith, I'm going to yank her off of the lap, and as I walk by Kia and I say, and if you ever call me Mama Jean in public again, I will smack the shit out of you.
I will say, we'll give you the faux pas, and I'm going to toss this up because I know you, and I know you're going to run with this. You call the maiden by the crone's name accidentally. Because you're lost in your memories at that point. And you're remembering when the current crone was being inducted as the maiden.
Gotcha. That's fine. So yanking off, and I'm so sorry, Lavinia. I don't even know what got into her. We're gonna have a talk right now.
And she
And I
kind
walk
of
away.
coughs and
I thought the seat was open.
the lap.
My ass, you thought it was open. Get.
She then like does politely and blushes and says, "Kalira."
Shit. Esther just kind of backs away at this point
Okay, so
before she says anything else.
we're gonna go to Salem to find out where Salem is sitting down, and I'm gonna give you all round 2 of chances to fuck this all over.
Matron.
All right, so Salem is sitting with the matron. I believe that again, you've been through a couple of these at least. So you were there when the matron was inducted. You can make polite talk. If you want to take any moves, you can. But basically, you are basically just sitting amongst them. Are you trying to sit like at the matron's table themselves, or just sitting in the matron's section?
Well, given that I know the matron, I'm not sure how well that they would remember.
Yes.
Me?
Therein lies the ability for faux pas. I am setting the traps. Yes.
So it's like, will they remember me? But Salem, being who they are, wants to, seeing the chaos over in the maiden section. I'm like, shit, this is gonna be. I'm gonna try it. Make good, make nice, over here. Bye. And I'm gonna try and talk to the matron
Okay.
a little bit. Yeah.
I had you guys come up with these names, and I immediately fucking forgot them. Altrum, kind of to sweep you into a big hug. Salem, such a good time to see you. And like,
Oh.
it is again is a bit more of experienced in statecraft than Kalira is. So kind of like a bit too loudly, but to let her voice carry, is
Yes.
Thank you for everything you and the other Dragon Riders of the Warrenguard do to keep us safe. And kind of reminding everyone that yes, these are hooligans, but these are the hooligans that protect us.
I did something.
Yeah, but so you are brought in, salads and quinoa and other vegetable dishes are served. And they're sitting there. Is there anything else is there anything in particular you want to bring up, or do we want to move over and give the rest of your Warren round 2 of finding seats?
I'm gonna enjoy this ride over here. You guys
'Kay.
scramble a little bit.
Salem has successfully completed finding a seat. Let's see if everyone else can. So who is
Well,
sitting
it's not
where?
going to be in any laps.
I found a seat. It's just not my fault that nobody likes where I sat.
I
Ian,
love that line.
after standing there in shock for a minute after Esther Jean drags Lilith off, they will very hesitantly approach the maiden's table and just sort of give like a short, very confused and apologetic bow, and
Just like
I'm please accept my apologies for that display earlier, and I offer my congratulations on your appointment to this station, and then they're gonna awkwardly just go sort of another short little half bow and find a seat somewhere.
When
Hopefully in
Kian
the
turns
corner.
away, she goes, please, Sir Dragon Rider, thank you. We appreciate, and like again, it's like the weird thing of the memorized rote response of we appreciate your accepted. Would you care to sit? And she motions to the seat next to her, which is empty.
Oh, yeah.
So as you go and
Sure,
sit, you realize that she's about the same age as you, and you two immediately are doing the dead straight head of forward, like two awkward teens sitting next to each other thing. Of like, you guys are sitting there with a plate of food neither of you is touching because you don't want the other one to see you eat, as both of you are immediately like lasered in forward. And we're gonna leave that scene and then come to and find out where Lilith and Esther are sitting.
I think I'm gonna go hang since I committed the faux pas of calling the maiden by the incorrect name. I'm gonna go seek out the actual Lavinia, the crone, and go vibe with her.
Yeah, it's one of those things of like the maiden has the burden of learning statecraft. The matron runs everything. The crone is there to pick up the slack and be like the memory of old. And it literally is just the old woman whose job is to sit around and make fun of people. And so like it's that weird thing of like it seems like a tense moment as the camera leads up to Esther Jean walking up to Lavinia, and then Esther Jean immediately just plops a seat next to her, and without saying a word, Lavinia pulls out a flask, pours it into a cup for her, and then they just start bullshitting and making fun of people. Which leaves us with Lilith alone and loose at this party. Excellent.
Oh no. You
Go
left
figure.
her alone?
The outsiders alone.
It'll be
Oh
fine.
shit.
Yeah, she has like a scar, like a really jagged scar on her face. And when people aren't looking at her chest that's hanging out, that's what people notice, and it makes people uncomfortable. So she is probably going to try to find a table that doesn't have a lot of people sitting at it.
The cleavage becomes more
Exactly.
makes sense.
Welcome
right,
to
it's
Warrenguard.
totally for that.
Welcome to Warrenguard, where we'll make you feel sad for making fun of the cleavage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely find a table away from everyone else. Let me ask, which of the three vibes is Lilith giving off? Are you giving off sad girl vibes? Are you giving off mean girl vibes? Or are you giving off, hot girl vibes? Are you too cool for this party? Should everyone leave you the fuck alone? Or intentionally or not, are you doing the sad thing of the party of like, well, no one wants me to be around me anyway?
No, she's probably doing the too cool for this party vibe, I
All
think.
right. Then like a flock of like, you know how like when cats want to be near you but don't want you to acknowledge them being near you, like every like younger noble eventually is ending up at your table or the tables nearby for some reason.
Like the cat sitting on my bed that absolutely won't let me touch him right now.
There you go.
I see.
Like they're not deliberately coming to talk to you, but just they're doing the things where if I say something interesting a little bit too loud, maybe she'll comment on it. Like, oh yes, I nearly fell off the lip of the crater last week. And there's silence. Oh, you did? Okay then. And it's little things
like
trying.
hearing that, she looks and makes sure that he sees her and sees her scar. Like really, you almost really that's impressive. Come on now, fuck off with that. And like just kind of rolls her eyes and then looks back and like focuses on her food and her own drink.
So yes. Now we're at the party. I will say that initial pleasantries are done, and then in comes like a bunch of servants come in to like move out the central buffet area away, and essentially the food gets put around the back wall, leaving a big dance floor in the center of the ball.
Oh no.
And you know what? I know you know it's coming, Ava. I'm letting you stew in it for a bit. Let's go around to everyone else first. So people eventually are going to join the dancing. I will say a couple of the nobles do approach Lilith. Does Lilith accept with any of them?
Probably. Maybe not all of them, but
The cute one.
she has to entertain herself somehow. So
course.
Is it full on the they thought they were leading when they put you onto the dance floor and they were very much incorrect?
yes, absolutely.
Love it.
Okay. And Ava, shut up. Is anyone else dancing, or what are they doing when the dancing happens? Ava, you're not allowed to talk during this part.
Dying.
Esther, Salem? Yeah, it's okay if you don't dance, but you got to tell me what you're doing while everyone else is dancing.
I imagine that Esther's dancing would kind of be a sort of awkward stiff waltz because of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
But she just kind of leans into that where like, she's not going to be able to do it right, so might as well just fucking do it the way I can. But I also kind of almost imagine that Esther would do the, the Mama Jean thing and grab Kian and kind of bring him out to get.
I will say, when it's clear that you're heading in Kian's direction, an older gentleman who you would know, Kian has no idea who this person is, who is the maiden's father, kind of intercepts you and says, let's let that happen naturally. May I have this dance? And he's also like full on silver fox, he's of an age of Esther and he basically sweeps you onto the dance floor. And because Esther needs some good things in her life, I do believe he initially starts off as a doing like the standard dances, and then realizes Esther's lack of mobility from her leg, and does the whole seamless curtailing where he realized he pulled you too far over, and so before you can even stumble, he's back up next to you to kind of support you and then keep you going, and he slows himself down right to your level to make sure that you are
Looks like I still got it.
you dance among
He's
the
like
me
doing the
swoon
same
over
thing
here.
as I'm doing in real life.
you dance among the clouds, little one. I can make sure that you stay safe down here. What is Salem
There goes
doing?
my brain.
Fictional men setting standards for real men.
I chuckle as I'm watching. At least I can see Lilith and Esther, and then I look over at Altram, and I put my hand out, go like old times.
Altram laughs and says, "It would be an honor," and then gets let out, and everyone's
Salem. Salem is actually a really good dancer. Just doesn't show it off until there's like an actual occasion.
Oh, absolutely. There is. It's as a reminder. Yesterday, Altram was the maiden, or at least recently, Altram was the maiden. In the sense of she's a bit older, but she was this whole there's a dark cloud to her role in this entire ball. The sense of the crone has died, everyone's kind of moved up a level, and she is about to take over primary control over Pridehold.
Yeah.
And Salem, I think you make her forget that.
Good.
I think as you are dancing, you are flourishing enough that she kind of it all fades away a bit, and you just enjoy the dance. And as the song fades out, there's like an expectant air around the entire ball, and is it Clara?
Kalira, yeah.
Clara coughs a little bit and says, like, barely audible under her breath, saying, "I'm supposed to have a first dance. Can you help me?"
There's like this flashback to Kian in his room with Corvin very awkwardly teaching them how to dance.
Did the man with the
Oh.
limp, with pronounced limp, teach you to dance?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were too embarrassed to ask anybody else.
Naturally.
And it's
And
her hand moves, not touching yours, but barely, like the just not touching on the tablecloth in front of her, and you can tell her hand is shaking.
and Kian half stutters for a second, and then he like jumps up from a seat, and will like kneel down in front of her and put out a hand and take a deep breath. May I have this dance?
She is the color of tomatoes.
Yeah.
As she puts a hand, a very shaky hand in yours, and says, "It would be an honor." You guys go down to the dance floor. I will let anyone make a move if they want to make a move for the dancing portion of this. So look over your moves. If you want this to go well, make a strong move. If you want this to go okay, make a regular move. If you want this to go bad and get the token, make a weak move. All
I don't know
or
about
fado.
bad, but I was already planning on making a fall for someone move.
All right. I forgot that was one of your weak moves, and that is 100%.
That is one of my weak moves. And it definitely feels appropriate here.
Go big or go home.
So yes, as usual with this, we will end with Kian. So everyone else, is there's a move you'd like to make, even if it's just a regular move of things are pleasant and nice, then go ahead and make those moves.
I don't know whether I want to use a strong move of help someone calm down or treat someone's pain when it comes to Outram. Seeing
If
that
you
they're
if
struggling.
you want to, I will give a. Not that I'll give a benefit because it doesn't. If you want to, you could definitely could. It costs you the
Yeah.
token, but you end up being a nicer person for it.
Because like the only other one I have is a regular move of take action, leaving yourself vulnerable.
That could be something as well.
Or listen. I also have listen, so I could listen to Outram.
It's up to you. If
Like,
you want, if you
I think I'll do listen.
listen. So, I will say, you guys end up on the outskirts. You know, for you dance for a little bit. You guys end up on the outskirts of the dance floor, and it eventually just devolves into you guys doing like the walk sway back and forth, as Altram has her cheek rested on your shoulder, and is just kind of just having the therapy session of like venting like all of her fears and everything like that, and that weird connection of I can tell you things because of this moment and this time. I would never admit this to people otherwise. And I'd say you do help out. Like, you help her kind of get things off her chest. And
Yeah.
anyone else?
Can Esther be having like a great time, like enjoying this dance and everything, and then realize that as she's holding this person's hand, the middle finger of her glove has been sticking out, and she's been inadvertently flipping off people during this nice moment.
100%
Beautiful.
take the faux pas.
Thank you.
Eventually, you realize it when a noble that you know is in charge of like one of the bigger herds gets so blustery in the face and goes storming off and leaving the party.
Oh.
Lilith?
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be considered a faux pas
Okay.
at this
Yes.
nice proper?
I'm
If it's
already going to
if
say
it's something
yes.
you're doing, probably.
Yeah.
But go on.
This nice proper ball. To maybe dance a little too close, rub up against somebody a little too much. That sort of thing.
Like middle school dance?
Kind of, yeah. But not, I mean, like, tastefully, I guess, maybe. Kind of, depending on your deception.
So, the dance itself isn't going to be the problem. But I will
Okay.
give you the token if you let the partner be the problem.
Okay, yeah.
So, Lilith full on cuts in to a noble and his wife dancing and takes his wife away and is full on, not like dirty dancing, but just a 2 clicks shy of that.
Is she into it, though?
Oh, 100%. That's the problem. Like,
Nice.
she's all
Amazing.
flustery at first. Like, it is the definite equivalent of you just gave her bioawakening. She did not expect a damn thing, and you came walking up, and it was like,
I was straight when I came in here.
I am going to
And
be
I left
the
by.
pirate queen that haunts your dreams for the next. You just put a lot of undue stress on a marriage right now.
Well done.
Thank you.
Has
My work
Lilith
here is
become
done.
a home wrecker?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's not on my resume.
Okay.
Lilith Homewrecker.
Homewrecker.
And
Those home wrecker.
normally Kian would have noticed any of these things.
I changed my mind on the move I'm gonna make.
Oh.
Actually, I kind of want. I still kind of do. I still kind of want to make the fall for someone move,
Okay.
but I also like to win someone over with your positivity.
Okay, absolutely.
Oh, I like that.
Which one's that one?
'Cause
Is that
that's one of my hard moves.
your strong moves?
One of my strong moves. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll call it a net neutral. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna cost you it because I do think it is like normally Kian is paying attention to everyone else around him. Normally they are nervous about the dance and everything like that. If we ask Kian in this moment what everyone else was thinking, all Kian would say right now is, "What do you mean everyone else? There's no one else here." Because I think Kian is full on, like, protective instincts kicked in. So, like, Kian's a bit smoother than they initially think they're going to be. Because,
Yeah.
again, it's the equivalent of...
So what I pictured with this is they both start off really stiff and awkward, and Kian is like staring at his feet, trying not to step on hers, like he did Corfins when they were practicing, and then they notice how nervous Kalira is, and I don't know, he makes some joke about maybe a noble dancing nearby or their hair or something, and that kind of cracks that little bit of pressure, and then he convinces her to just stop worrying about everybody else, because look at that person, they're they've got two left feet, and so they're kind of over there like giggling and not really dancing properly, but they're having fun.
And I think like, again, just to kind of tie off of that as well, I enjoy that. Like, yes, they're definitely having that moment, and they stop paying attention. They're very much the giggly teenagers. Another thing is, though, Kian has had 5 years of flight training. So while everyone like what Kian has been comparing himself to the other riders, and he thinks he's clumsy and thinks he's got the two left feet and things like that. But once the motions start going, it's like the equivalent of, like, Clear is just a civilian. Clear, has the occasional dance lessons, but again, isn't that... Even if he hasn't had formal dance training, Kian still has a grace and agility that's been drilled into him by the fact that you gotta stay in the saddle. So there's just it's a different kind of riding that's happening right now, and it's that's the whole other thing. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I think it's a thing of, in Kian's mind, like, oh, it's like, I'm so clumsy, I'm like that, but then it's the realization of just that. I think one of the first time Kian, because again, Kian is a fresh face. Kian is constantly comparing himself to every other experienced rider around them, and now they get a chance to, like, kind of it's like comparing themselves to everyone else and going, wait a minute, I don't suck at my job, I am actually really, really competent compared to everyone else. It's just that I'm around professionals the entire time.
You can't see your own competence when you're surrounded by hyper competent people.
Yeah.
My nightmare.
Yeah, so while the fucking soundtrack from Anastasia is playing, and Kian and Kalira are fully lost on a forgettable journey, and are singing "Life Is," yeah, I've been hearing it in my head since they started dancing, so you guys got to deal with it too now. So while life is a road and it's gonna keep going on, everything is a perfect, glorious moment. And then you guys hear a platter drop as a man in robes, against the back wall, drops to his knees and grabs his head screaming. And a peal of thunder goes out across everyone as the drizzly rain that you guys didn't notice picks up in torrential downfall, and the oracle bells start ringing. And that's where we're going to go to break.
That's terrible
Wow.
timing.
Okay.
No, that's perfect timing.
So
and
yes,
the platter drops.
we're gonna go break for about 5-10 minutes ish. Give people a chance to pee, get water, all the fun things like that. We'll be.
I picked up my coffee cup 3 times and it has been empty.
Yeah, I noticed. I was counting in my head, and I was like, you know what? We gotta get Ava more coffee, otherwise, she's gonna kill us all.
I finished my advanced.
I'm not the GM this time.
I know, but you're gonna try. I'm saving
And
Tom
I'm playing
in the rest
Kian.
of the. Oh, Kian. Poor Kian. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go on my BRB screen on the recording. You guys can go on BRB screen on the stream, and we'll be back in call it 5 minutes. Let me get a quick one. Everyone can go fast. See you guys soon.
Okay.
Why is OBS
No,
not
say
there? We go.
potato in chat if you can hear us all.
Yep.
Yeah, say potato. And also, if you're listening to YouTube and you can hear us, write potato in the comments. I want to see how many potatoes I can get. Let's get
Or
those
lemon.
potatoes. Or lemons. Some
Or lemons.
some favorite fruit
French fry.
and or
Listen,
tuber.
that's close enough.
Tom.
I'll take French fry.
French fry works.
It's a form of potato.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's potato
It's a
adjacent.
former. Yeah, it's a former potato.
It's from the potato family.
Former.
Ah. It's French fry, artist formerly known as potato.
There you go.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
So the bells ring out. Everyone does their lovely dash thing.
The fuck was that?
You right there? You done?
Yes.
Done with the yawns?
Fine.
Stick to your shit, Aegis.
No, with the other one, with the wooden finger that can't fold down. There you go.
So the bells ring out. Everyone, like, there's literally that moment of everyone getting startled, and then all eyes turning to you four. As I assume you guys go running for the dragons.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
At first, when things happen, I put myself between whatever's happening and Ultram, out of protectiveness.
I was gonna say, Kian does the stop mid dance and the draw her close so that I'm right here.
No, kid.
I
the
just-
wife
I-
back to her husband as I run away.
Perfect.
I turn to the gentleman. I take a sip of the alcohol that was poured to me by the crone, and I say, "Well, it's been a pleasure," and I just go.
I follow you.
I think as you guys are leaving, there is like you can't make out the words, but there is a heated discussion between the noble and his wife after Lilith gets spun back into his arms.
I just want to say she is not a homewrecker. She would have gladly invited the husband to join.
Okay.
He chose not. Just saying.
He was closed-minded as hell.
Exactly. Exactly.
Kian gives Kalira a very nonchalant. I'll be right back. As they leave.
Kieran's
My
got
warrior
that
needs
swagger
me.
as Kieran is running for his dragon. Everyone mounts up, gets into the air.
I'd like to think that ironically I get to Thon first because of all the speediness, regardless of my
Oh yeah, no.
wooden leg.
Well, it's also a. Don't you have a know my dragon better than know myself move of?
I do.
Like literally, the bells are ringing. Everyone else is kind of nervous, but Thon is immediately like at the door, ready for you. So you hop on. Everyone else kind of like lines up. It is difficult because normally you guys are coming down from the Warren and dipping over the side to let gravity help you with your speed. This you are flapping up from the very bottom of the crater into a now torrential rainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys
We're
start.
gonna need new dress blues after this.
Sure you will. I'm
need to
definitely sure
hang these
Esther
out for a while.
will requisition more dress blues and not just go fuck it, they're fine. That is definitely a thing
No.
that will happen.
Ian will fill out the requisition form and get her to sign it at some point when she's not paying attention.
No.
Trick me.
So
It'll be just wait until you're like half asleep and then be like, "Oh yeah, I need you to sign this, boss, lady."
you guys climb your way up into the storm, and that's where we go into initiative. Esther and Thon, you're up first.
Oh, naturally.
We finally
first.
found something that
Speedy.
isn't quicker than you, or as quick as you are, and wins on ties.
Ooh, that climb has to be real bad on Alarum with her sprained wing.
Yes, if you,
That has got to suck.
Yeah. Did you get that
Aw,
last
baby.
chapter or the chapter before?
I got that last chapter.
Okay, so you have to have it for the entirety of this chapter
Yep.
before it falls off. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah, does stress
Stress automatically
goes away
refreshes.
between?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stress auto always refreshes. That's why it's better to take stress than consequences. But sometimes you have no choice.
Right. Got it.
Alrighty. Thon, you're up.
All right. Well, am I just trying to get to
So-
the bell fast, or
So the bells are ringing. They know a monster is here. You can see nothing in this storm, or at least nothing yet. So basically, what are you and Thawne doing to try to locate or find out what's going on?
I mean, heading towards the bell, I guess.
Okay.
Really.
Uh,
I mean, I feel like lightning right now is not going to help light anything up to see anything.
so give me a quick. Let's say overcome an obstacle. So just roll quick for me. I should get
That's
my
with the fate dice,
dice
right?
roll. Yep. We're now in
All right,
we're now
well,
in
that's
dragon
a 0.
dragon side of things. So now we're heading back to.
All right, I
Alright.
need that link to the dice.
So
I
that's
found.
that's a 0 for me.
So
But
you
I
get
have
a-
3
yeah.
to quick.
Okay. So
So
I will say you get there, and it's a fantastic, like, should be airbrushed on the side of a van, a moment of you on the back of your dragon as a torrential rain and lightning goes on in the background, clinging to the side of this like Victorian bell tower where people in robes are ringing it, and they just scream like it's like there are people on the ground just rolling in, like, grabbing their heads and rolling, and you realize this happens every time the bells ring. Is oracles go into these like trances, and the oracle is just screaming, it's in the storm, it stings like fire, it's in the storm, it stings like fire, over and over again. So now we bring on to Lilith and Mini Smalls.
All right, and you said we can't see this thing, correct?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
Okay.
I will say that Esther can relay that back, or Thawne can roar it out, and then everyone else can be processed through the mental link. That basically that's all they're seeing right now.
Okay. I love Minnie, but she's not really good at things except breaking stuff and murdering things. And
Yes.
I guess we're gonna try to kind of look around to see if there's something that we can break or hurt or run into or something.
Okay. Being like the taking a moment to try to look around, that sounds careful to me. Unless you've got something else you want to try to.
I mean, is there a way I can forcefully look around?
No. You can. Forcefully looking around is like just you ripping open the Where's Waldo book and being like, "Where are you, you piece of shit?" So no, this is gonna be careful.
Okay, well, I have a 0 in.
Maybe the dice will be kind.
Yeah, no, I got a -2.
Okay, the dice are not.
So-
Minnie does not like the rain. Minnie, like everyone else is like trying, like, again, it's just a pure surface area thing. Minnie is trying to fight through the rain with giant wings that are being pelted with water. So that's gonna bring us to Salem and Basil.
I don't think I'm gonna try and keep up with Esther and Thawne. I'll keep up with Minnie and Lilith.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna be a little bit above both of them. Kind of keep a higher vantage point and looking around. So I guess I'm trying to be careful.
Yep, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me a careful as well.
Okay, let's see. Just a 2.
I will say you don't see much either. But then again, we're gonna go right into the monster's turn next. So
Yeah.
it is above you all. So it's gonna be attacking. It's got 3 actions. It's gonna attack Basil twice, and Minnie once, because Basil is the closest to it, or to
Yeah.
them. So, essentially, coming out of the darkness, these long, clear, translucent tentacles start trying to wrap around you and the dragons.
No shit.
I don't like the look of that.
And I think with that, you will see it, and you'll kind of get the first look. There are sky jellyfish all over Pridehold right now.
That's a thing.
They are a thing. They live in thunderstorms. They drift on the
jellies.
wind, and they are terrifying because they're completely silent and they
Now
just
I
start
must-
grabbing people.
What the
I'm going
fuck?
I'm gonna draw sky jellies now. Thank you.
You can. I'm all for it. Anytime anyone wants to draw fan art of these games, I want them to.
Yeah.
But let's do Minnie first because Minnie's only getting the one attack. What are you doing to defend yourself, Minnie?
I'm gonna breathe out my green metallic flames
Okay, so
very
kind of-
forcefully at these jellyfish trying to touch me.
All right, go
I
ahead and
like
roll
that.
forceful defense.
Right?
Am I
Double.
bigger than this thing?
You are definitely bigger than this thing.
Okay. so
But
that's-
your stun only applies to, I believe, attacking, not defending. This is when you forcefully attack.
Yeah, no, that's what that says. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. So the aspect, I don't get an extra one for that, right? It's just the +3 for the forceful.
It's just a plus
can't
3 for the
remember.
forceful. If you want to spend a token, you can tag the aspect to get another +2 onto the roll by saying, I'm bigger than them, so I'm basically, able to burst through.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna do that because I rolled a -1, so that would have given me a 2. So I'm gonna spend a token to give myself. What was that? An extra 2?
Yep, it's always going to be an extra 2.
Okay, so that's 4 total.
Okay, so they were sneakily attacking because you didn't see them coming. I did roll a -2 on the dice though, so that goes down to a 1. You get away just fine. So now 2 attacks onto our Basil, because you said you were going higher than everybody else, and they're in the sky.
Yes.
So how are you defending yourself?
I would like Basil to stop flapping his wings and just drop free fall
Okay.
a little bit, not to just like collide into Lilith.
Yeah, I would give that a quick or a clever for
Let me
defense.
see. Ooh, I'm gonna have to do. Like, let's see. That's a 0.
Okay, and what's your quick or your clever? Whichever's higher.
It was a 1, so it was a -1. I rolled a -1.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there any aspect you have that you can tag, or that you feel like you should be able to tag in order to help you out here, or no, or you want to leave it at that?
I can't. I'm not gonna. I don't think I could do the. I do have that new ability, but I don't have it written on my sheet right now.
So that new ability is if you flashily defend. You basically you Jubilee Dazzler away with your electro balls, and then you flashily defend. If you want to, I'll let you re-roll for a flash defense. If you want to do that,
Yeah.
so you didn't write it down.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Let me go back and see.
So basically, your flashy, I believe, is a 3.
Okay.
Is it? I don't know. You gotta
I think. Wait.
tell me.
where'd it
You're
go?
the one with the sheet in front of you. Purple. Flashy is 2. Sorry. So you basically started a 4 with these. So 4 plus the dice.
6.
Okay. It rolled a 5 on its attack. So very good that we remembered we had that stun. Give me another one.
-1. Roll. Oh, that's what I rolled. So.
So then it goes again. If you're off the 4, it goes down to a 3. They got a 2 on there, so you barely are surviving both of those. Barely moving away. Okay. That brings us to our poor little slow girl that is Alarum.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you are there.
Yep.
you can kind of see everyone reacting to that and kind of figure it and put it together. There was a class somewhere that we get a flashback of Kian paying attention to sky jellyfish. What are we doing? What are you doing on your turn?
How much like actual jellyfish are these sky jellyfish?
Uh,
Are they still like mostly water?
they are very much still like mostly water. They are drifting on the wind, and they're basically being blown around by the storm.
Okay, I'm going to I want to try and create an advantage.
Okay.
And I'm going to do that by basically, well, I can spit darts of ice.
Yep.
And I sort of want to use that to try and slow the jellyfish, because if my ice can, sort of freeze a bit of them, because they are mostly water, that would slow them down, and they'd be less aerodynamic in the winds. Hopefully,
I'd
because
call
they're
that
heavier.
a clever creating an aspect. So go ahead and roll clever for me.
Perfect. It's my. Actually, I don't know if that would apply. My stunt would apply there.
Let me
Just
see your
reading a
stunt.
scene. When I carefully read a scene to look for details no one noticed, add +2 to create an advantage.
That would be more of if you.
Yeah.
For an example would be same situation of instead if Alarum is defining like the outsides of the herd for everybody. Of like how like seeing where things are or seeing a vulnerable spot on them by saying, hey, wait a minute, if
Yeah.
then that would be the +2.
Makes sense.
Not that
That's
I don't
fine.
I love the freezing thing though. But
Yeah.
go for that.
I have a token I'm going to use to give me. Well, I can do that after I roll, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. We said clever, so that is a 3 because I rolled a 0.
They rolled a.
I spend my token
You can.
to make that a 5.
Okay. They got a 3 themselves, because they were they got a +1 on their forceful of resisting that. But we'll call it ice patches. So ice patches are now forming in their bodies, which are slowing them down and basically making them more vulnerable. And also, those can be shattered. So you only got one free claim on that, one free invoke, but that is marked by the X on slide 7. And that brings us back to the top of the order, Esther and Thawne.
I mean, I feel like I should start zapping. So yeah, I will spit bolts of crackling yellow lightning, and I will aim it. How many jellyfish are there? Or is it just one gigantic one?
There are enough jellyfish. There are a bunch.
There are enough.
Yeah, there's enough jellyfish to
Thank
be
you.
a danger. However much that ends up being depends on how well you guys go tearing through these things.
Okay, well, I think that would be a flashy, right?
I can see flashy.
That feels flashy to me. Where did I put my... I have like so many windows open now. There it is. I got a -1 and my flashy is 2. So I got a 1.
You can use any tokens to buff up.
And I probably should. I'll use 1 token to buff it up to 3.
Okie dokie. Let's call that a forceful defense. Because lightning is faster than they are, they can't really sneak away from it.
It's true.
That is going to be a 4 on theirs. So they resist it and do not take any damage.
Damn it!
That brings us to Lilith and Mini Smalls.
I would like to. I want to use my size and my speed to fly directly at one of them and then I want to use Minnie's body to kind of like body check it and like send it flying away from everybody or us.
Okay. Um.
Would that be a thing that I could do?
Yeah. We'll call it forcefully creating an aspect.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your forceful for me.
Okay. It's gonna be a 5 because I'm attacking, correct?
No, creating aspect is different
Oh.
than attacking. It's the,
Okay.
the three modes you guys can do are, or four modes technically, are attack, defend, create an aspect, or overcome an obstacle. Those are the four moves you guys can do as when you're dragon riding.
Okay. I got a 5.
Yep.
Total. So.
Okay. We'll try to be forceful. They got a -1 on their forceful. You definitely do that, and you do that with style. So we're going to create
And a plum.
and a plum. We're going to create the aspect strike and put 2 free invokes onto it.
Out of there.
Yeah, you basically like a bad animation at a bowling alley. Just come flying through and send them scattering.
Amazing.
Which brings us to Salem and Basil.
Hmm. Let's see. I want to create the minefield of glowy purple orbs.
Okay, that is flashily creating an advantage. Let's go ahead and roll that for me.
Oh, it's this one. Okay.
Like there's music I'm hearing that you guys aren't because it's for the recording, and it's getting super intense right now, which is fitting because we're in the middle of combat. But I realize I'm bopping along with it, and like everyone else thinks I'm just insane.
Bye. We know you are, and it's fine. We
There
love
you
you
go.
that way.
So we're gonna try for them to be sneaky and get through the minefields. You said 5? Okay, they got a -3 on their dice and and they have a 3 of sneaky, so they get a 0. So that is an advantage with Sile as well, which is not looking good for these guys. We'll call that
Fuck you, jellies.
energy minefield. Okay. Ooh, phone, what are you doing? After that, it is their turn.
Great.
They're gonna give one attack on Minnie, and no, 2 attacks on Minnie because Minnie's the one who made contact, and then their third action is going to be to try to create an aspect of them kind of fading away and hiding that I can start tagging. So we're gonna do that one first, which I'm gonna give a set DC because it's nothing you guys are really going against. Okay. So doesn't get a free invoke, but this scene of visible bodies is now on the aspect of invisible bodies is now on the scene. So they can basically make it harder for you guys to notice or attack them.
Shit.
Then they have 2 attacks coming towards Minnie. Both are going to be sneaky attacks that you hopefully don't see. But how is Minnie defending herself?
She's gonna do what she does best and just tank through it. She's big and tough, and she's just gonna kind of like swing into it and take it, and hopefully doesn't do very much to her.
Okay, I am going to. I can't use one of the free invokes because you guys created it, but I am going to spend one of my GM tokens to tag the energy minefield, saying that you're. I'm going to give you a -2 on this roll because you're going to have to weave through that minefield to do this as well, and you gotta be conscious of that. So my tokens go down.
Son of a bitch!
Can I use one of my tokens?
You certainly can. That's the whole point of this game, is throwing token. It's like what happens when Ava and Tom both have a bunch of edge in Shadowrun. You keep throwing at each other until eventually you run out.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's plus 2, and then us 6 total.
Even with the -2 on the plus.
Oh no! I forgot about them. I'm trying to hoping that you forget about
Yeah,
the minus
see, no.
2 like I did.
Believe
that
it or
would just
not,
be a
no.
4.
So they tanked this roll. They got a -2 on their sneak for a
Oh,
1.
good.
So next attack is going to be just
wait, I have
straight
to
for
do
them.
another one.
Yep. It's gonna be just straight for them. I'm not spending another token on that. So no -2 for you on this roll.
Okay. I'm just gonna do the same thing to defend.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I have my 3 for my forceful, but I
Mhm.
rolled a -2.
Well, I rolled a -4. You're
Oh.
fine. So they're -1 on their sneaky. They are the loudest, most. The dice don't like me today, and that's
These are the most obvious invisible jellies we've ever seen.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You said you were at what, 2 as your total?
I rolled a -2, and I have 3 for my
it was a
forceful
1.
defense.
1.
Yeah, so it was a 1.
I couldn't do it. Damn. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna no. It's only gonna inflict 1 stress. It's not gonna be enough to do anything. Yeah, because I could spend a token on invisible bodies to kind of help boost this a little bit, but even if I do, it wastes a token because it's just doing a stress to you, and that's not gonna do much in the long run. All right. So that is their turn. We are back to Kian and Alarum.
Yes. And I believe Kian and Alarum are going to they're going for height because
Okay.
they want to almost get above the storm to try and find the pattern in the storms to figure out where the jellies are going to be to give us that advantage.
Okay. So
I
yes.
liked that suggestion.
that is 100% down to carefully or cleverly creating an advantage by noticing something that's there. So this does fall right into your sun. This is what blues do.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take the +2 to that as well.
Oh, son of a...
You do also have tokens if you'd like to spend some.
I know. Okay, so I rolled a -3. So with my clever of 3, that makes it a 0. And with my stunt, that's a 2.
You can spend it.
I have 5 tokens. I'm spending another token to make that a 4.
Okay. Which just beats their sneaky of 3.
Woo!
So we'll go ahead and do this. Womp. Oh god. We're fucking up the font size because we're adding too many aspects. Mapped pattern. Womp. Got the single free invoke, because if you had matched their 3, you would have put the aspect on without the free invoke, because that's what ties do. But since you got even to the one above, you got the free invoke. But there's too many X's on your side of the screen. I don't like it. And that brings us back to Esther and Thawne.
Alrighty. How visible are they now? Like now again, they didn't.
I mean, they're never very visible to begin with. They're essentially, it's the same thing of like a plastic bag in water, except you're in the middle of a storm.
Right.
So like you can see them because you know what you're looking for, but you still are losing them unless you're like actively staring at them.
So I feel like I don't want to keep doing the same thing, but like it's raining, it's water, there's wetness, and lightning is you know, strong in water, so I kind of want to just keep
Yep, and there are now a bunch more aspects on this field if you want to start tagging some of them, or all of them. If you want to sweep the field, you can do that as well. All of those X's on the left-hand side are free invokes, which don't need a token. And if you see another aspect that you'd like to invoke, you can just add a token onto that to get +2.
So can I have Thon aim for the ice patches and try to zap the ice patches?
That's why that free invoke is right there. Is that the ice patches?
Do it!
You're just grabbing that one invoke, or are you grabbing more?
What was the strike again?
That they're all like discombobulated because Mini flew through, and they're again, they drift on the wind, so like they're not like they're like going into formation naturally. They're just kind of all like kind of fucked up. So again, anything that's got an X, if you want to, and everyone's okay with it, you can clear the field and get a massive bonus to one big attack.
Nobody else is around the energy minefield, right? Like,
it's one of those things of, unless I decide to be a dick, no. I could spend a token to like invoke it and say that, hey, Mini was still too close. I have 3 tokens left. That is something I could do, but it's...
I'm gonna aim for the ice patches. Then final answer.
I was gonna say, take the chance if you want, because I can. I'm pretty sure I can tank through it.
All right, then I'm gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna aim for the energy minefield and try to just blow up a whole bunch of shit.
So yeah, like, you know, now here's the thing. This isn't something where you can only pick one. Just tell me which of these X's are you removing, and for every X you remove, you get +2 to this roll.
The energy minefield and the ice patches.
Okay, so let's do both of the energy minefields or just one of the energy minefields?
Just one.
Okay. So it's gonna be +4 to this roll on top of everything else.
And then that'll be flashy, obviously, because I'm zip zapping. Alrighty. -1 again, so that's +2 for the flashy, so that's 1 plus the 4, so that's 5.
Alright, so they also hit a 5 on their sneaky to kind of fade into everything. I'm going to spend another token to give them to do invisible bodies to make that something where that didn't hurt them, and they just fade away. It's you see the lightning like thing, but again, it's another lightning in a thunderstorm already, so it kind of like bounces off some things. The air is already pretty ionized. Alrighty, that brings us to Lilith and Mini Smalls.
Would everyone be okay with me using one of the strikes and the other the energy minefield?
Go for it.
Okay.
What you thinking?
I kind of want to fly and swing Minnie's massively long tail and like swipe them. They're already like discombobulated, so they can't really like focus on what's happening, and swipe at them with the tail and knock them into the energy minefield.
Sounds good to me. It's another forceful
work?
attack. Either forceful or clever.
I'm gonna go with forceful.
Yeah, I know you're gonna go forceful. I just want to get the options out there. So then it's gonna be +4, +6 because this does go with your stunt because of forceful attack against things that you're bigger than. So +6 on top of whatever everything else that you're throwing about.
Okay, so can I also just kind of throw in a token to get an extra +2?
Yeah, if you can tell me what aspect you're tagging, then yeah, absolutely. That's the whole reason aspects are there, is for you guys to spend tokens and tag.
I'm the biggest and strongest.
Do it. That's exactly what that aspect is there for.
So that's what, a 7 total? That's whatever I roll?
No, it'd be an 8 total off of whatever you roll.
8 total.
Because every aspect gives you a +2.
Then it's just an 8 because I rolled 0.
Okay. You rolled 0 on the dice, and then what's your forceful?
Oh, 5. Because I have 3 forceful +2 because I'm bigger. Is that right?
Okay. So hold on.
Did I do that right? I feel like my numbers are
slightly
very
wrong. You got an 11. 11 total. Because I'd already factored in that +2 when I was listing off the bonuses before. Okay. So you got 11 total. They're gonna try to dodge this. They're gonna fail horribly. What can I fucking... I can't even... There's nothing that I can really do on that. Shit. Okay, so they take 1 stress. Have a severe consequence of ruptured.
That sounds painful.
And you notice they are starting to lose altitude. And a moderate consequence of battered. And those both have free invokes on them as well. Alright, that brings us to Salem and Basil.
It's... How many are there total?
Enough. There's a bunch.
Enough.
It's however many you're picturing, sure. That fits.
Okay. I want to intimidate. So, since now they're lowering down, they're coming to more of our level. I want to kind of go above them and use Basil's mighty wings to kind of force, wind down onto them to force them further down.
Okay.
So would that be forceful or flashy?
I could see it's probably gonna be forceful because you're not doing anything big. You're just getting up there and just whipping. Now, if you do have a token, there is one of your purple's aspects is right up the alley for this to get a +2.
Yeah, I have one.
All right,
So I can
so
use a token.
is the purple ability is called a flap of my wings leaves a gust of wind in my wake. So you can spend that to get +2 on this roll.
Yes. Let's go. So I got a straight 0. So I got 4.
Okay. Let's see. Let's roll their forceful, trying to do this. They don't have a good forceful, and they don't fucking make that. Okay, so we add the new aspect onto the scene of lower bodies. And put the free tag there. You didn't quite make it with style, but you definitely beat them. So now it's their turn. I am going to spend a token to tag the lower bodies. And I am going to do... one attack on Minnie as standard because Minnie's the one in melee. Or at least melee-ish. And the other 2 are going to be creating aspects because they're going to be reaching out with their tentacles to try to grab people in Pride Hold below. Because they've been now ruptured and pushed down. So I'm going to spend a token on that to get benefit on those rolls.
Well, shit.
So
That was going to be my next question: was how close are they to the people? But that answers it.
The answer is enough. Believe it or not, the answer for most things in Fate is enough.
Enough.
As the narrative decrees.
Indeed.
Is the answer.
So, Minnie,
Great.
go ahead and make your defensive roll and tell me how you're defending.
Okay. Where is my? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I think. I think. I just kind of wanted. I don't know if this would be quick or flashy. But I would like to probably quick because I would like to quickly kind of roll out of the way of the attack. I think.
Absolutely. Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
that's definitely quick. Go for it.
Okay. 2.
Okay. They got 3 on their sneaky. Take a stress.
Okay.
And then their next roll is going to be trying to grab people. They get +2 on this roll because I spent my token. Alrighty. You guys are lucky. I only got a 3. If I'd gotten a 4 or higher, I would have let them actually start grabbing people.
Oh, good.
This is I'm just gonna put in pandemonium, and that's what I'm gonna call it. Pandemonium. We have so many freaking aspects on this scene. Pandemonium is the aspect that's added. There is no free invoke for you guys because it's on my side. So I could do a free invoke on it if I want next time. Which actually I think I will do. I'll take that free invoke on my next roll.
Oh God.
Fucking, I got -4 in the roll, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway. So yeah, like literally, like the tentacles, like it is terrifying to be on the ground. I just want to stress that. They're not grabbing people, but man, like these invisible tentacles are like slapping against walls and like curling around buildings trying to grab people.
I was gonna say do at least because like our whatchamacallit is. Did I just what did I?
Oh
do?
yeah, you guys have the barrier. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and we have twisty, narrow streets also. So wouldn't it be, hopefully it would be difficult for
Yes.
them to grab onto people because
Now-
there's lots of hiding.
That's the proper way of doing it. If you want to compel an invoke, next time I roll to try to grab people, you can toss a token at twisty, narrow streets and saying, no, 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 take a -2 to your roll, Joe.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah, like it's the whole point of Fate is finding whatever scrap of narrative you can and stapling it onto the roll to help or hinder. Alrighty, that is their turn. We are back up to Kian and
Yes. Okay. So I know precisely what Kian's going to do. Kian is going to Kian and Alarum are basically going to take a page out of the Jellies books and hide within the storm. And I'm making this sneaky. But basically they're going to take advantage of everything left on the board. And we're just going to appear out of the storm at the Jellies and then just spray them all with ice.
Okay, so we'll take the strike. We'll take the mapped pattern.
Yep.
Those are the two.
Those are the two we got.
We'll have lower bodies as well. We have 3.
Oh, sweet, perfect.
That gives you more time to plan. Those are your 3 free invokes. Any tokens you're
Yes.
spending to add stuff on top of this?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and my scales let me blend in with the sky above or sea below.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go ahead and that one. What does that put me at? A plus
You're +8 right now.
8. I think a plus 11 on this roll will be probably enough.
Okay.
That's a 12.
Okay, so you're rocking the 12.
Yep.
They are going to try to sneakily.
I'm almost tempted to do another one for 14, just because.
I mean, it is a 14. Before I roll
Yeah,
this, you can
let's
do
do
whatever
that.
you want.
I spit sharp darts of deadly ice. Go ahead and
Absolutely.
invoke that too.
What are the tokens there if not to spend them?
I had 6 tokens at one point tonight.
And what do you have now?
I'm down to 2.
There you go.
I'm down to 2 now after spending those 2.
That's the way to do it. I got a negative on my roll. They had a sneaky of 3. It goes down to 2. You do 12 steps for them.
I get to save the day.
Yeah, they
Well
already had ruptured and battered. So like, by the way, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We're also taking the free invokes from ruptured and battered. So we'll move those up to an 18 on your roll. And basically, it's the full-on anime moment of Kian goes barreling up through the storm, breaks through, and sees the full like stars and twilight above them, and they hang for the moment. And then it's back down through the storm as lightning's crashing around them, and it's literally like anime style, just flying back and forth, like leaving explosions of sets off the minefield, like it leaves explosions in Kian and Alarum's wake. And I will say, there is
Amazing.
the hard break right at the end, as Alarum back into the courtyard of the ball. and everyone of this ball sees this giant blue dragon land, spread the wings out, and roar as Kian is just riding on the back of the back of her. And I think that takes us. Hold on, I have to clear out these aspects before this tiny ass font gets
So
me.
small now.
Jesus. All right, so that brings us into the epilogue. So where do we find everyone? The rain is over. The party is still going, but if you do not want to be there, you do not have to be there. So where do we find everyone?
I think Kian's going to bask in being an actual hero for the minute.
Right? Like Kian's gonna have his thing. I'm gonna go. I think Esther's gonna go back and try and see if not even worrying. Excuse me.
That's enough out of you.
Not even worrying. Like the rain has ripped the middle finger off of her glove, so she's back to being like this. But she wants to go back and try and continue dancing with the gentleman that got her before.
Okay. Kian is basking in being the hero. What are Lilith and Salem doing?
Go make sure Altrum is all right. I'm probably dripping.
Okay.
And sorry, I have a very grumbly small dog behind me distracting.
No worries. Hello, Mr. Fox. And
Mr.
Lilith.
Fox.
Where's Lilith ending up? You are muted. Try that
Muted,
one
yeah.
again.
Lilith has her already like skin tight dress blues on, and now she's soaking wet, so that just is like even like tighter and sticking to her even more. Of course, she's gonna go back to the party and see what she can get into.
Try to find a
course she
lap to
is.
sit on
Exactly.
and dampen so
See
slightly.
how that couple is
Exactly. See,
dealing
yeah.
with their BS. Yeah.
So yeah, I will say that the party is 98% deserted at this point. When the bells ring, everyone kind of ran.
Sure.
But we do have select few still sitting around. A gentleman sits at a table, nursing a drink. I think Esther walks up and immediately takes the drink from him, shoots it back, and then drags him back out of the dance floor. There's music
Naturally.
only that they can hear, but they do a nice little slow dance. Lilith finds a noblewoman crying in a hallway. And I think this may be a bit too forward, but so shoot me down on this if it's going too forward. But I kind of like the idea that Lilith full on just stalks over to her pirate queen style, pins her to the wall, and kisses her as the storm goes in the background.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And then like she pulls back and why is a pretty thing like you crying in the hallway? Come on. And tries to pull her back into the party for some fun. Or around the corner for fun, depending on what she's into.
There we go. They're not seeing the rest of the night. They're heard the rest of the night.
Oh God.
Lol.
Salem sits down with Alarum. Alarum is, again a little flustered, but has admirably like marshaled everyone in the
Altrum.
hold. Altrum. Thank you.
Altrum.
No.
Alarum is my dragon.
This is not my fault. This is not my fault. There's too many names that were similar. This is Vince's
That
fault.
was my bad.
So yeah,
My fault.
Altrum is handling things, and I think Salem being Salem, like just kind of walks up and gives her a quick like shoulder rub, and basically becomes a pillar for her to lean on.
Yeah.
And then we have the moment. Kian walks in, like goes rushing back into the ballroom.
They're kind of shaking out their hair, and the curls are back full force. Like they had them slicked down and all neat and tidy, and now it's just.
Oh, the rain fucked that all up.
And
Yep.
I think Kian goes stomping in, making sure everyone's okay. Sees Kalira standing near enough where they stopped dancing. That Kian walks over, and there's that long shot of the two of them, like her very demure, Kian visibly out of breath from having to run from his dragon. And I will say that there is an embrace. Doesn't necessarily have to be a kiss, but I think there's the collision of the two as the music swells in the background.
Aww.
And I think we end not on all of these wonderful things, but on everyone coming home back to the Warrenguard. Lilith either hiding or proudly showing like love bites and hickeys as she like saunters in. Esther, like, and again, you know, because everyone gets happy endings in this episode. So like when the noble noticed the missing finger, he didn't even care or say anything. He just moved on. So Esther like throwing out the gloves because they're not needed. They're not needed at the moment, and she'll have to get new ones. Salem having like sweet tender, like a sweet moment with, you know, with everyone, making sure they're okay. Doing the late, like again, I think Salem is in the kitchen with their hair up in a towel, like baking cookies again.
Yeah.
So there's that first sense, and I think there is a split shot of Kian wearing most of his dress blues in his room with a bronze dipped or copper dipped flower, and then the other shot is the three of the triumvirate directing everyone to clean up at the ball, and the maiden is wearing Kian's blazer.
That's so cute.
That's so sweet.
And I think that's where we're going to end it tonight.
That's adorable as fuck.
That is so sweet.
Can the blazer have like a little tear on it from the battle?
Sure. Like, oh yeah, it's
Maybe decides to not fix because, you know, the aesthetic of Esther's war torn jacket is a little growing on him.
I was gonna say, before they go to bed that night, Kian already has the form filled out for a new jacket.
Ah, damn. Okay, fair.
It's like stuck to Esther's door. So that's where we're gonna end it tonight. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's go through. Let's have everyone go around, and again, if you have something of yours to pitch, please do. But starting with Aegis.
Something of ours to pitch. What do you mean?
I am like, where are you? When's the next time you guys are streaming on this channel? Do you guys have a plan for
well,
that?
we're probably just gonna. I'm not sure. I think Pred's up and about. I think we were gonna do some Helldivers.
All right, so stick around for Helldivers on this channel.
Yeah.
Lou.
I am currently in my thesis. I am doing nothing.
Absolutely, that is very fair.
2 more semesters. This one and fall. So
Elizabeth.
This Sunday, twitch.tv/Shadows of Nox. Call of Cthulhu, I will be running it. Hopefully driving Joe and the rest of my players completely insane.
I mean, yeah.
And murdering my NPCs.
Yeah.
Naturally.
as you do.
course. Exactly.
As you do.
And Ava.
It's your job.
Yeah, catch me Monday nights, also on Shadows of Nox at 9 p.m. Eastern, for a sci-fi game.
Sci-fi game with a subtitle we have yet to learn, and it's driving me insane. I want to know.
I might tell you after the stream, Joe.
All right.
I can't say it. I can't say it on air because Tom is one of my players.
That's fair.
Teslin in the chat.
Gotcha.
And as always, I have been Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me on Twitch when Twitch decides to work for me. It's Clockwork Tuba, and now much more frequently on YouTube, because once I upload the YouTube videos, they can't fuck me over again.
That's true.
We have been playing Warrenguard by Natalie Putum. It's a fantastic game. You've seen the fun we've been having today. It's quick. It's easy to learn. It's just a, mwah. It was successfully kicked on backer kick. backer kit, so now it is fully paid for. So just keep a lookout for that, warrenguardgame.com, to see when you can start pre-ordering it and do everything, all the fun things for that. The gorgeous starting soon screen and Be Right Back artwork that you've seen if you've been watching this on YouTube are created by Natalie Chenard at Ghost Candle. Our overlay is done by our very own Aegis, and is created with artwork by Shan Benian at Anon B Draws. The design of the layout with the rotating stills and getting all the information in there, I shamelessly stole from Abby Kelly, the layout director of Warrenguard. When I saw that happen, I had to have it, and I just stole it, and I'm a monster.
It's a really cool layout.
It is a very great way of getting a lot of information just going through on a screen, as opposed to trying to overload everything onto one. I saw it, and it was just like that light bulb moment of, why have I not been doing this? But this is chapter 3, 4? Something 3. We are going to do probably 2 more chapters. I believe next week we're going to be down a player, so then I want to have everyone here for the final chapter. So expect 2 more chapters, and then I will make somebody else run this so I can play, because I want to ride a dragon. Because who doesn't want to ride a dragon? All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Dragons.
Everyone say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.